Welcome to What Are We Playing This Week, the show where I'm gonna recommend to you some games that you can play if you're in the mood for something with the theme of today's episode. And today's theme is boats. Yes, it's the Boaty McBoatface episode. Games all about boats, boating, boaty boats, and boating. Mostly sailboats, not that I have something against Ship Simulator Extremes, I just like sailboats better, so hey, why not? Also, have to mention this, I have not played Naval Action. It looks like a neat game from the screenshots, not exactly as neat from the recent Steam reviews, but still it looks like a nice game. That being said, let's kick off with something that you probably wouldn't expect, Patrician 3. Now, even though this game is basically a tycoon where you have to slowly build your fortune and become a member of the Hanseatic League, become a mayor, become a patrician, become a bigwig in the Northern Baltic Sea trading thingamajig, this is at its heart a game about boats, because those are your lifeline, those are your means of trade, of gaining profit, of defending, of exploring, of just about doing anything. And I recommend Patrician 3 because, from what I understand, this is not actually Patrician 3. There is no Patrician 3. It was always a bit confusing to me because I played Patrician 2 a lot and Patrician 3 just looked like the same game to me. I was, well, what is this? Why do they look so much alike when Patrician 1 was so different? The answer is very simple. Again, there is no Patrician 3. This is Patrician 2 with an expansion that's being sold as a different game. It's quite funny because on GOG right now, Patrician 3 is €5.20 and Patrician 1 and 2 put together are exactly the same price. But yeah, Patrician 3 does have the expansion, which adds some more features to it and makes it a bit more diverse, if you will. It's a game where you're gonna build a lot of infrastructure for trade, where you can actually build towns, but again, it's mainly about boats, about taking trade goods from one port to another, making production chains, and just sailing around. You can even send ships around the world to trade for exotic goods. The second game I'm gonna recommend to you is Sea Dogs, even though I haven't played it as much as I've played its sequel, Sea Dogs 2. Well, no, there is no Sea Dogs 2. They called it Pirates of the Caribbean because, well, the movies just came out, the first one, it was popular, so they more or less cashed in on it. I believe that game was published by Bethesda and I can't seem to find it on Steam or on GOG, so maybe it's not in print anymore or on circulation like the old ones are. Still, Sea Dogs 1 is more or less the same game, not very good in terms of graphics as it's very old, but stability wise it's probably the best of them. I've played, not very much, I've played a little bit of Sea Dogs City of Abandoned Ships or something like that, and it wasn't that good. There's also a new one called Caribbean Tales, which is, from what I've been told, again, not that good. There's also the Age of Pirates series, which again has problems, though I believe actually it was Age of Pirates, City of Abandoned Ships, not Sea Dogs. They're all made by Aquila. If you see a pirate game, it's probably made by Aquila or licenses stuff that Aquila made. Like Voice Venture Online, they licensed all the ship models. I recommend Voice Venture Online, but I've played it for years, so no, it's not that really that good. I'll also recommend Pirates of the Bering Sea, but I'm gonna do one better. The original Pirates. Well, actually any of the Pirates games, any of the Sid Meier's Pirates games are good. Personally, I've played the one from 1987 the most because that's the one that I had, and honestly I didn't mind the graphics at all. The sounds were a bit annoying at times, especially when you were near some reefs and it would go constantly until you just wanted to shut it up, but you couldn't. The gold version is probably the best of them because it has better graphics than the old one. It has an actual UI with a map, you don't have to draw it by yourself, which I did. It was almost correct. And it also has a bit more speed in its combat, especially in the sword combat. However, there is a certain charm to the 2004 remake. Now, I will criticize this to death because it doesn't have sea battles with forts. That's, to me, that's something I just can't understand. How can you have a pirate game and not have the ability to just shoot your cannons at the fort and be shot by the fort. That's what made pirates for most of the time for me. But I do like it. It's got charm to it. It has upgradable ships. It has so many features. I honestly don't mind the dancing. It makes it quite charming. And if you want to play these games, you can find the newest Sid Meier's Pirates game, the one from 2004, for €8.70 on GOG, and the Pirates Gold Plus, which also includes the old Pirates game from 1987, for just €5.20. And, well, I do give this game a lot of shit, well-deserved shit, but sailing around in Assassin's Creed Black Flag and just listening to the music, to the wind, to the sails is a very relaxing and pleasant experience. The game itself is annoying as hell, and whoever designed that same repetitive follow these people mission for 5 minutes with no reason should be flogged. No, better yet, whoever decided to implement that mission 50 times should be flogged by the person that made the mission, because I've got the sneaky suspicion that that person knew what kind of mission they made and wasn't that keen on seeing it everywhere, because I know I wouldn't. So yeah, you could also get Black Flag, which is on Steam now for €20, though gotta be honest with you, it's if you're not a really big fan of Assassin's Creed games, it's gonna be a rough ride, though it somehow has very positive reviews on Steam. That just goes to show why people don't deserve better games. And what better way to close out this show about boats than with a picture of a man sailing in a boat that's shaped like a giant trout. Now you may wonder why he's doing that while dressed as what appears to be Poseidon, the god of the sea. Well, that's not Poseidon, that's Neptune, which is the same thing with respect, but there is a subtle difference there. It's a cultural thing. We do this every year. It's strange, we know it, but it's tradition at this point. The silly kind of tradition that isn't hurting anyone, not even the person that puts on that ridiculous outfit every year. So see you next time with more gaming recommendations. If you enjoyed this show, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Or, if you thought it was horrible, then share it with your enemies and make them suffer. We shall be your weapon of vengeance. But if you liked what you saw, you could, I don't know, maybe donate, because basically YouTube is horrible at revenue, by using the link in the description, or just buy my book. It's a fantasy book about, well, a lot of stuff. I guarantee it won't suck, and if it does suck, you can find me here and complain about it.